So how does one get chosen to be a spiritual master?
I don't think I ever intended on being chosen. I never intended on being a spiritual master. Like through growing up and through the years of getting into, let's say, consciousness or spirituality, I always class myself as the spiritual gangster. So when you say master, and what does that mean? Does that mean you need to wear a robe, or what needs to happen? So I never intended for that, or I never consciously intended for that. Maybe subconsciously had different plans, but one day I just received a message from Acharya, and a disciple of Grand Master Akshar, and she said, Grand Master would like to invite you to join him in the Himalayas. And I remember when I first received that message, I thought, oh, they probably want to sell me some retreat or something, you know, I need to pay for some retreat. And then I thought, okay, so what's the deal, you know? Having the normal skeptical mind. And she said, oh, Grandmaster would like to invite you to be his first disciple to receive the honorary title of spiritual master. And when I seen that, I kind of found it quite funny. You know, I was like, this is some joke or something, you know, or okay, how much do I need to pay to be a spiritual master? You know, I think the same skepticism came in until I think until we actually went on the journey. I just said yes because I thought I had nothing to lose anyway. It's not that like they're asking for a sum of money, so I thought why not? Let's go and practice some yoga and see what it's about. But it wasn't until we really embarked on that awakening journey when everything shifted. You know, I started to realize like what the universe wanted from me.
When you talk about journey, what exactly do you mean?
I think that when I first arrived there, we were doing some yoga practice. So to me, it was just like, it's just some yoga. And it was very tiring because I was not very flexible at the time. And then I think it was day 3 when it happened. We were doing a lot of strange practices that I wasn't used to. Things to do with third eye, you know, connection with sun and opening up certain chakras and things like that, and certain breath work that was very heavy. And that moment when he gave the commands and we were sat there, just me and him, in practice, suddenly, just everything opened up. And it was, I can only explain it to be an extremely bright light, and then almost like moving through into a different dimension, and then things were moving extremely fast. Everything was happening at the same time. And imagine like within seconds, I would be so afraid at that time that I would just open my eyes and I would come back into the room. And suddenly inside my head is probably like 1,000 different things that just happened. And I was unsure at that time. Was that past life? Was that future life? Was that, what was going on? Because there's so much. And it took pretty much the whole month after that to unwrap everything and understand that we are multidimensional beings. We have the ability to open up these, what is kind of like what you would see in a movie like Doctor Strange, these multi-dimensions that we exist in. And when we can see the truth, we can also see our highest purpose in why we are actually existing here. So it changed everything because from, you know, before the trip, I got to a point in life where I think I was already fulfilled in that sense, content. I had everything I ever wanted to have. And I actually had moments where I was ready to go. Like I felt like I'm done with life. And just when that happened, I got this message and I went on this journey, and it kind of awakened me to, it was kind of like the universe saying, you got a lot more to do. Let me show you what you need to do and go do it now. Because straight after the mountains, there was no going back. Like that drive and that purpose is so strong that I don't stop now, because we must fulfill this in this lifetime.
How did you feel going through that journey? Like, was there any moment where there were some challenges, or you thought, I'm done?
Challenges will probably be the asana practice, because I was not very flexible and not that dynamic with practice. But everything else, once those channels, the energy channels were open and spirit was flowing in the multiple dimensions that we were practicing in, because most of the work was done in outside dimension. It wasn't done in physical reality. That's why a lot of people think we went for 30 days. Yes, in physical reality, but most of our training was done outside. So it was the equivalent of a few years of training we were doing in meditation, in traveling. And I think it wasn't so much challenging. I think physically was the challenging part. Everything else was very clear. The moment you go through those doors, those portals, you are just returning home, to the other home that you are not conscious about right now. But once you get used to it, because we were doing daily practice of this, it's you're just going to multiple homes, and then coming to multiple realizations and bringing that with permission, bringing that memory back into this physical dimension to be able to know how that dimension is affecting this dimension, and how when you change in other dimensions you manifest much quicker in this physical. And so I don't think it was so much challenging. And then the most challenging part would probably be the returning after the mountains and learning how to readapt to human society, to human beings, and learning how to be human again, to communicate without them thinking that I was too strange, you know? I mean, the first few days or first few weeks, a lot of people couldn't accept how I had changed. And because I didn't, it took me a couple of months to speak to humans again in a normal way, learn how to do that. Because I was gone for a few years. I would say that there was some, you could say, friends or people in my life who they left my life because they didn't understand. But I came to acceptance with all of that, because the mission that we are embarking on is way beyond just a misunderstanding of something, you know. So I think, you know, family and friends and that type of thing at the beginning was probably the toughest when coming back. But then I very quickly adapted and learned that it's almost like watching a superhero movie. You have the superhero identity, and then when they come back to their family, they need to pretend to be human again. And that's only because we live in a human world, and we don't want to create too many disruptions.
So, who exactly is that person that can open your third eye just like that? And I think a lot of people wondering who is your master, Grand Master Akshar.
Grand Master Akshar is a Himalayan yogi. He grew up in the Himalayas, practiced all these yogic practices with his masters from very young age, maybe like 7, 8, 9, something like that. And after receiving all these mystical powers and practices, he ventured out into the real world and formed a very big institute, a very big Akshar Yoga, to be able to spread this message with the world. And I just happened to be somebody who was chosen to cross path with him, and he seen something in me that I didn't even see. The strength and the capacity, the vessel being ready to be able to receive such a blessing of a journey and a mission to spread more love and positivity in this world, especially during some dark ages where there are certain things, war, hate, anger, frustration happening around the world. And I think it's a more important time now than ever before that people come together in the name of love and work together to create this world peace.
So if you had to conclude your journey from the Himalayas, coming back, now being here and on that mission of positivity and love, what would be your concluding words? How did it change your life?
Well, it completely changed my life. In fact, it's a whole new rebirth. It's a whole new life. I think my message for everybody is just to stay strong, keep practicing, keep equipping yourself with more skills to become stronger, to become a better person every single day. And I believe the most important thing is living in a world with so much negativity also. It's very important to be strong, but it's very important to be know yourself so well that nobody can affect you. Because while you embark on this journey of positivity, there will be some negative people who will come along the way trying to bring you down. But if you know who you are, if you know your intent, if your intent is pure, it's from the space of love, it's from the space of giving, compassion, it's from the space of positivity, then nobody's words should ever affect you, because you know you better than anybody else. So stay strong, you're a light worker, and go shine your light. That would be my words.
Thank you so much. Beautiful words, Master Sri Akarshana. Thank you for taking the time for having this interview with us. We really appreciate you. See you next time.
Thank you.